What is going on?
Talking about the hair? Or are you talking about?
That's what I am talking about. The hair. Yes.
Is this Taxi Driver? What's going on here, Johnny?
Here's what's up. My stepdaughter was really bored, and these kids are bored nowadays. And online schooling is messing them up. Let's face facts. Things are weird. So she's like, I just want to give you a mohawk today. All right. So, I always say, fuck it. Go for it. I'm like, I'll let it happen. The only regret I have is I should have kept my beard. I had a beard, so I could have done like the full-on Mr. T, like from Rocky.
What's your prediction for this fight, Johnny Sig?
Hey. So great to see you guys, Rafe and BC. First of all, I hope you're washing your motherfuckers.
Yep, believe that.
I hope you're washing them, But we got a great gift to the world today. A very serious conversation about what the world needs to know right now. Why did Richie do Bobby Lupo? And what's the magic of Screwface? This is a long time coming, okay? It goes back to when you had Eric Raskin on, a great podcast, by the way, when you guys detailed Marked for Death. Great detail. But I got some things I got to address a little bit later that I got to bring up that was missed there, as much as I love you all.
Well, first of all, please don't talk about a podcast that no longer exists, please.
Don't fall in love with a podcast that no longer exists.
Absolutely. But before we go into the whole detail of things and compare these things, I got a whole list of great things I want to go over with you guys. And I appreciate both of you guys coming on. I'm going to start with you, BC. How's things been, man? How you holding up?
Are you talking about on my current trip to Puerto Rico right now, or on my
everything
life in general?
Puerto Rico, everything in general.
Everything's going great, man. It is this winter's been tough. I know you don't deal with that in Las Vegas, but this has been a rough winter. Outside of that, life's fantastic. I don't know if we'll ever see packed arenas again, but I am rock hard with emotion, just the same as Jake Hager would say, to be chatting with you right now, brother. Believe that.
Rock hard, mighty BC Brian Campbell.
Yes, thank you.
And here we go. We're off the rails already. I love it. So what about you, Rafe? How's things been, man?
It feels the same, although I have a new job. I work for Fox now, Fox Sports. I don't know, so far I've been here a month. Nobody said anything to me about PBC on Fox, but whatever. We're gonna find out someday. I know that Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola are going to be fighting. Look, I have an idea for the tagline on that. It should be no fat shaming.
Not best, but we love that sort of thing, right? Like when you.
I love fat shaming, but still. I think the probably the right way to go from a promotional standpoint would just be a picture of the two of them next to each other, big capital letters, no fat shaming, or somebody gets beat by a man with titties.
I was going to say, you can go back to Total Recall and get that bar patron with the 3 tits and have that person ref. This is perfect for this pay-per-view, all right?
That's actually Kermit Bayless.
Mortal Kombat mirror match. I mean, we got matching tats almost, and we got guys that are a little bit heavy set. I mean,
a little bit.
Trying to be nice.
Well,
we have a situation where we got two guys that, it's going to be a sloppy mess, and we like sloppy messes, right, BC?
Oh, we like them extra sloppy. But what Rafe didn't get to tell you is, thought his new job sounded boring, right? Took it. Turned out to be pretty damn boring. Yes.
Still sounded boring.
No, we're doing big things. I mean, this is like peak mid-90s No Limit Records. We're about to just blow up. Don't worry. Do not worry.
I don't doubt it. And also in BC, you're in Puerto Rico. We got a Ring City card tomorrow.
Yes, fantastic.
And
great
welcome
card.
Back to that, because I love the production on that show. You guys do a great job.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very impressed by what they do. They're putting a ring on top of a fountain in the middle of like the city square for Thursday night, so it should be wild.
Will the fighters be fighting around the water coming up through the middle of the ring?
I'm hoping there's sharks with freaking laser beams or some kind of early UFC thing going on with a moat around the ring or something. That'd be great. But both Vargas Sr. and Jr. are here, so it's a wild time. I'm loving it so far in the bubble.
Hell yeah. I saw Vargas Jr. fight out here and had the opportunity to hang out with Fernando, great guy. And he's very passionate about his kids. He's got a lot of kids that box, a lot of sons that box, which is excellent. You know, they're passing it down, and he's like one of those passionate, like would be like football dads. You know what I'm saying? Like he's there, he's at every match, and that's important. And these kids, they seem like it's not forced on them. It seems like they really want to do it.
Oh yeah, and in the fighter meetings, not to get sentimental with you, but Fernando Sr. telling the story about how you didn't have a dad growing up, and that's why he, dotes so heavily on his own children. I mean, it was like tears across the board in the room. It was fantastic.
What about when Oscar just laughed at him?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Then within like 2 seconds, we were in that story, and I don't even know how he properly made the transition, but suddenly he's like, "Well, you do know about that time with me and Oscar." I was like, "He pushed you in the snow, right?" And he's like, "He did it." He just started going. It was great time, good times, great oldies. You could have been.
That was a great fight too, Oscar and Vargas. Bad blood.
Yes.
And immediately, like, Fernando looked way strong, and he hurt, I believe, Oscar in the first round, like almost immediately on impact. And I was like, oh shit, Oscar's like in trouble here. But then Oscar, like, turned it around, did what Oscar did at that point in time, and got a great stoppage in an amazing fight. And BC and Rafe, like, we know this. We need these type of fights, where the best fight the best. We got a couple coming up, that are good. And we just had some recently. We're starting to get back to it. But we just need like that kind of fight like that. Even if Trinidad and De La Hoya bummed you out, or Lennox Lewis and Holyfield, at least they fought and got it. They put the work out there. We're
going to get, Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. That, if what's his name, if Burchell in Valdez wasn't enough to restoke the fire, I think that fight is going to be one of those like sneaky special absolute classics. Cannot be exactly that. So I'm fired the hell up for that.
I could not agree more. And I saw the announcement of that fight today. And Burchell and Valdez, that was awesome. It took a little bit to marinate, but once that steak got cooking, wow.
Well, Rafe, wasn't the event? It's not like the fight. The drama that the fight gave you wasn't like, back and forth, but it was thick and so dramatic the whole damn time until that KO.
It was, although for me personally, I mean, Burchell has been one of my guys. Oscar Valdez had been the opposite of one of my guys. And it was clear from the beginning that my guy, something wasn't right with that guy. I want to know who did Miguel Burchell, who did Alacran, all right? Can somebody tell me who did him?
It was definitely Sticks. I'm telling you, that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Burchell did not bring his cue ball that night, and he didn't bring his egg weights. He didn't bring any of the stuff that boxers typically use to win
or his
fights.
Huevos. Okay. Yeah. No, actually, he brought the Huevos. He did bring the Huevos.
Yeah, but, like as Jim Lampley used to say, I don't even remember what he used to say, but used to play it on a podcast that no longer exists, Brian. It was, I have more huevos. I am more man. I am more macho than you. Look, Oscar Valdez did that to my guy.
I think that was a leaked sex tape, by the way. I think that was from Jim's leaked sex tape. Hey, Johnny Six, sorry to cut you off. Speaking of Lamps and Vargas de la Hoya before that, only the real ones know, and by real ones, I mean me, that's actually Lamps' best call. Everyone's going to go to Mora Foreman, but dude, seriously, the ending of Oscar and Fernando.
I thought Lamps you meant Sergio Mora Foreman.
Lamps is just painting.
That was Load Watch City.
Yes.
That was Load Watch City. Population Jim Lampley and the rest of the world that was watching.
BC, I want you to break through. When are you going to begin crying on camera?
Oh, wow. That's very Isha of me. I don't.
If Brandon Adams and Sergey Bohachuk have a moment tomorrow,
yes. If they open up,
are you going to tear up for me?
They go tip to tip.
If they open Mouse Cave on the broadcast, I will tear up for you and let one out there. All right. Brian Alvarez is going to be there. Kodo's guy. It's going to be fantastic.
Is he?
Name? Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah. Neckman.
He's the Leonard Ellerby of Kodo Promotions. All right.
He needs to work on the stash.
Do we get those tiers? Do we get the load watch? Can we get at least one load watch from you? I think it's like necessary.
I'm not sure what the standards are on broadcast cable these days, but
look, I'm gonna let BC shoot his load, and I'm gonna do what I do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, we're already off the rails, and I love it. I'm having a blast, guys. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on. So, speaking of coming, let's talk about going into Steven Seagal. Oh man, was that my load watch?
It's over. It's over.
It's over. It's over. The fight ain't over.
You know, a man can never be the same after swallowing, Johnny, right? I mean, Tyson did say that.
That one really might be over. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. All right, so I want to go into a deep dive between two films. We're going to go Marked for Death versus Out for Justice, okay? So I want to start with Marked for Death. I'm going to tell you why things I like and the things I don't like. And I have lists here. Reckless driving from Steven Seagal when they go to the jewelry store. I mean, to arrest 6 people, he's going to kill 600 potentially. Like, it's like, whoa, how do you do that? Okay. We also have a gym teacher that's riding shotgun. So now it's like extra reckless. Red flags fucking all over the place. But okay.
Yo, they smoked ice during his practice, bro. You don't do that shit. All right? Come on.
All right. And I'm going to let you go on that in a moment. I can't wait to hear. There's great action in the movie. Great action in Marked for Death. But the whole thing with the magic and all that shit, like, we never see how it's fleshed out. Like, what happened to the sister that was going to be potentially raped that got a curse put on her?
I don't want to see how that plays out.
I don't want to see rape.
What kind of film is this? I'm trying to watch this with family.
She got voodoo curses put on her, and we don't know if she's okay. Like, maybe, because at the end of the movie, they just walk away, in the Jamaican sunset, and everything's fine. But we don't know what happened to the niece. Remember, the niece got shot? They never flesh it out. DC, I'm going to let you take the wheel. I think it was an odd ending.
Well, look, this is an Ali Frazier-esque debate between, two of the truest action movies. And, and in the 4 presidents, the Rushmore of this, it was, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Seagal, and Rafe's guy, JCVD. And can't believe JC got the VD. So the thing I'm trying to say here is that people don't realize that Seagal's the rawest and the realest of this group. And it's not over the top it is. But you know what I'm saying? It's the most sort of still kind of really badass without being comically badass. So in that realm, he's done a few different things in a very tight lane, right? I mean, there was the environmental classic on the ground notwithstanding, but he had his own version of Arnold's Commando, and that was Out for Justice. And if you're looking at it through the scope of Rocky 1 is actually the best Rocky movie and not Rocky 3, the most rewatchable one. But here's the deal here. Out for Justice is badass. I mean, it's freaking incredible, but it's almost like his answer to Commando. Like, oh, I can do that too. Whereas Marked for Death, I think it actually could have happened. I'm ready to back up every near fact turn, black magic voodoo moment in that film. I think it actually could have happened, and it's just so dark and raw and ridiculous that it's his best because it's sort of like Out for Justice is the pop hit. I mean, it still rocks, but it's like the pop hit. It's like Van Halen "Dance the Night Away," right, dude? I mean, that's fucking amazing song, bro. But it's a pop hit, right? I think Marked for Death is like Eruption.
So it's like Smells Like Teen Spirits for Nirvana.
Yes,
it's the number one that is the go-to one. Screwface, we don't know no Screwface, but I tell you what, Screwface, the second Screwface, not the first one. The first one got his ass handed to him. He had nothing, and he had like 3 or 4 henchmen help him out, and he couldn't deal with the situation. The second one actually impacted and damaged Seagal, which I found very, very impressive because how rare is it? You don't often see Steven Seagal get his ass handed to him. So, Rafe, I want your thoughts on Marked for Death.
Really, my thoughts on Marked for Death are, if it's not for Seagal, it's kind of boring, man. I need more action in that, man. There's a lot of it is compared to the other Seagal films, it's paced pretty slowly compared to, I'm not even going to go to Out for Justice right now because
it's not above the law slow. Above the law slow, bro. Okay, that's a real
look. Yeah. I'm with you there. That I don't even consider that part of the canon to me. Even though that is the first, it doesn't matter to me.
I don't need no acting. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
I don't got that DAZN shit, man. What the fuck? So like. But compare like Under Siege 2, like that thing is paced, that thing rolls.
Yes.
And Out for Justice is just clearly nonstop action, just one scene after another, set piece after set piece, crazy scenes with Uncle Junior from The Sopranos when they're doing terrible monologues to each other. It has it all.
Yeah, but here's a difference, and you can tell me this is some weird like white guy suburban reaction. I would watch Out for Justice as a kid and laugh, Rafe. I would watch Marked for Death as a kid and be like afraid and like physically afterwards be like, damn, that was a wild ride. You know what I mean? That was pretty scary there for a while.
Look, I mean, perhaps I grew up in a perhaps more urban environment than BC. But look, I'm not Litchfield County. You like obviously you had some rough parts around there. I mean,
I'm from New Haven County, bro. All right, get it right. Okay?
My bad. I just knew that you had once worked at the Waterbury Republican American. But like, yeah, I mean, Connecticut Milltowns are not. You know, they're rough. They're tough places too. I'm no fool. But still, it's I don't know. I mean, like it just seemed like. It seemed laughable, some of the stuff in Marked for Justice.
Well, maybe the difference is this. Let's break this down on a technical level. And we've had this discussion a bit in the past on podcasts where the villain needs to, like, you can't have a great good guy without a better bad guy is sort of like the working thing I'm trying to say here. And I think that's ultimately what made Marked for Death so over the top, insane, and awesome is because Screwface 1 and 2 is the best. And, you know, Rafe, we've had this discussion about what's the one with the coma beard?
Oh, that's Hard to Kill.
Hard to Kill has some hilarious moments, but the only problem is,
Trent.
Steve Kerr's brother, Senator Trent's just not getting it done as like a credible villain. And look, you know, Richie is a doughboy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a sadistic doughboy. And I love Richie, but he ain't Screwface 1 or 2. And to me, that's the difference. I felt like there's no one's dude, when Seagal walked through that pool hall and took out like 17 of the nasty ass, you know, mafioso former boxer and gang members, and with just like 2 snaps up ease, that's over the, you know, it's great, but it ain't Marked for Death, brother. Okay.
I got to say, Brian, the pool hall scene beats, I think, everything.
It's amazing. But there's no credible bad guys.
Shows up. Look, Richie Madonna is I found him credible because he's just so evil. He doesn't give a F. He's out there. He will shoot anyone. He doesn't care.
Bro,
he did Bobby Lupo for nothing, next to nothing.
He's Chris Areola level difficult. Okay, my man Screwface is like Joe Frazier level. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even talking about his brother.
Man here, and that's the thing. Great segue. We want to look at the whole man of the villains here. You know what I'm saying? Sizing the villains up. Screwface, without a doubt, was like the Darth Vader of a Steven Seagal movie. Because, like I mentioned, BC, is that he did rough him up. Screwface number 2 definitely gave Steven Seagal his run for his money.
Go to the body, son. He went to the body. He went to the lower back. He was smart, you know?
He had tricks.
Better effing get inside on him.
You took his heart. Now you got to cut off his nuts with a sword. Take his house all away.
That's a brutal murder. That's a brutal murder. Think about that. Okay, guys, let's reflect on this real quick. He cuts his nuts, right? And then throws them, gouges out his eyes.
And then the backbreaker, bro. The freaking backbreaker.
Throws him down an elevator shaft, and he gets like Mortal Kombat fatality off like the pit bridge from Mortal Kombat.
But it's like, would you rather be his brother who got his head cut off with a sword after getting one to the crotch. I mean, that's pretty bad, bro. Yeah.
He disgraced that family, PC. Like, they got ruined. The Screwface family got fuck-faced. They got annihilated. All right, so I want to talk about the
Screwface magic.
So we talk about Out for Justice. Great movie. And Rafe, I'm on your team with this. You know, Richie is a monster. He's not very tough. But, I mean, he does a girl in fucking broad daylight after he kills Bobby Lupo in front of his wife and kids, pulls her out of the car at random, shoots her in the face, murders her, goes on a cocaine bender, runs all around Brooklyn, causing all types of hell, hangs out with Uncle Junior, which I'm going to be fond of, obviously, and hangs out with him. They have some weird, awkward conversation with, you know, off-brand storytelling. And then, you know, like, I'm trying to keep it nice. And then the one thing is that with the movie Out for Justice, like, I like the continuity in the storyline. The problem I had is that when he's telling his wife about his father being like a knife, you know, guy that walked around and sharpened knives for people, they were married a long time. How does she not know that story already? You know, like, maybe
Johnny,
I wasn't too deep.
you're attacking all. I have to say, Johnny, I think you might be attacking both of these films from the wrong point of view. If you're considering the plot holes, they're going to be plot holes. Like, pretty much everything involving Screwface having, you know, 4 eyes and 2 heads and actually just being 2 people.
Oh, that was real. That was real, dude. That was real, bro. Okay,
yeah. Magic was everywhere. Did you know the magic was everywhere?
And look, Steven Seagal movies are never going to fit together like a perfect jigsaw puzzle. This ain't Breaking Bad, boy. This ain't Birdo. You know what I mean? So it's really about being along for the ride, and the ride that I choose to be along for is Out for Justice because it's faster paced. You have the butcher shop scene, you have the pool hall scene, the bar scene, where Seagal is just not only sticks, but also just giving it to that bartender, you know, just really, really disrespecting that man. Nobody is more disrespectful in a film than Steven Seagal and someone he doesn't like. He just emasculates them from top to bottom. He looks at the whole man and disrespects every inch of that man.
He uses props. He beats a guy with fucking salami in a deli in Out for Justice. He talked about.
Yo, how about that other guy who with his arm stuck to the wall with the cleaver? Oh god, that's ridiculous. That's almost like a commando level in that shed at the end when the guy took the thing to the crotch. I mean, it's that ridiculous. It's great.
It's absolutely phenomenal. And he uses his props. He uses his environment. The cue ball, perfect example. You know, he goes in there, he stuffs the guy in the phone booth once, and after kicking everyone's ass at the bar location, what does he do again to that guy? Sticks him back in the phone booth. You know,
who is that? Who is that guy? BC left. He's our wrestling guy, but that one guy in that scene that looks like Terry Funk or Randall Cobb, like
the guy behind the bar.
You're talking about Tattoo? That guy, the guy with the who got all his teeth knocked out, like Skittles on the pool.
Yes.
That's just some Grago.
He reminds me of Terry Funk.
No, I see like a Randall Tex Cobb vibe coming from him, but
thank you.
He was more of like a dirtbag, like gas station overnight cashier version of him. Like, he was the
Brian Campbell version of a Tex Cobb.
Yeah. He was like Ohio Milltown version.
I know what you're doing by that hot dog truck.
He's buying food at the gas station. I can see that. And that's why he was probably hanging around and rolling with Richie after his boy, Richie's brother left in Out for Justice. He didn't want anything to do with shooting and taking on, Gino and all that type of shit.
Well, they broke his nose, bro. And then the guy had to teach him language lessons, and he broke it one more time. And come on.
And the other dude lost a lot of his teeth. I mean, you get hit with a fucking cue ball. I would think you should be in an emergency room, not rolling with degenerate fucking drug addicts.
Well, Johnny, you got to answer a key question for me from that scene. You're from Jersey. You probably have a better understanding than I do of when this guy pulls the made man card, that guy in the suit, and Seagal just walks right through that detour, not like to pour a drink on him or to give him a black eye. Did he actually push his nose into his brain and kill him? Because that uppercut from hell that Seagal landed threw the guy over the bar. And if you pause it on there, I mean, so that's why I'm like, Seagal's more sadistic than Richie at this point. I mean, he just like it's one thing to hit, I guess, to hit these guys in the head with a cue ball that's inside a handkerchief. That's one thing, right? But I mean, I think he killed him. Did the nose touch the brain on that?
I think he did. I think the cartilage went right to the brain. I think that guy died.
He's going to have a knock on his door, right? From people that are above the law, if you will.
There should be a lot of consequences here. I mean, he went, but the cop, the detective, the main guy told him at the beginning of the movie, go do what you got to do. We're going to do our thing. We'll let you loose, because he knew that he was very passionate about Bobby Lupo.
You got to know who did Bobby Lupo, man.
So they told him,
stop.
You could go pretty much do whatever he had a free pass for like a day. It was like a hall pass to kill and fucking do whatever it takes to get people out of there. So he hits the streets and he does his thing. And we see like all the violence, like with the cue ball. Of course, that's probably one of the biggest ones. When he fights Sticks and they're going nuts and back and forth and all this kind of stuff.
Pause on that. Can we bring in our resident martial arts expert, Rafe? Sticks made our boy Gino Felino like have to use his whole gas tank. Like he what I mean? Like he made that a fight. We got to give Sticks. No, we got to give Sticks respect. It was obvious that he knew his way around. And dude, he made Richie's boy. What's his name? Is it Gino in this movie?
Gino Felino, man.
Yeah.
This is
he made him flip cheeseburgers.
Look, if that's how Gino Felino flips cheeseburgers, then he's been flipping cheeseburgers his whole life. That was easy work. That was nothing for Gino. He just wrapped up in a napkin.
Bro, Sticks made him work, bro. Sticks brought him into deep water. Rewatch
this is like you being like, hey, Hatton made Mayweather work, man. He made Floyd work. Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out, but man, he worked. He made him work real hard. That pressure really made Floyd felt that.
Here's what's up. Like, I'm writing screenplays nowadays, not to plug myself and try to do certain things and cross over.
It's your podcast, man. Do you?
I'm trying to look at, when I watch movies now, I look at it differently and try to find logic. I'm like, so there's a random guy that knows how to use sticks in martial arts combat form that's hanging out at a fucking bar randomly when Steven
His name is Sticks,
in,
by the way.
trying to figure out who the fuck whacked Bobby Lupo. What the fuck?
That's why that's the best movie. It's the best. It's also the movie where it just so happens that it begins with Steven Seagal throwing a man through a car windshield, and then the credits for the film pop. The title screen shows up. It's like Out for Justice. All right. I mean,
he's walking around now.
There's the whole dog subplot that is fantastic.
Oh, that's great point.
Brian. This is where I want to come down. Let's just compare casts, okay? What does Marked for Death have to answer for Uncle Junior, to answer for Gina Gershon? Prime.
Okay.
Prime Gina Gershon.
I was a day one. Since I'm a day one-ish seeing Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley on opening night, first showing Friday night, I'm certain this Gershon is a big sway in this conversation. There's no question about it. But we had poor man's Ernie Hudson as that football coach, as Seagal's like loyal right-hand man. And how about Charles, bro? People are forgetting on Charles, man, right?
Who is Charles, that guy.
If you make an undercover agent, there's some they fit their roles, bro. PYP, play your position.
No,
the proof is in the pudding.
I'm talking about star power, Gina Gershon. Even though I can't tell you his name right now, Richie Madonna worked in some other films. John Leguizamo has that little part where he gets killed in the alley.
Yep.
William Forsythe, thank you.
Danny Trejo's in the opening scene of Marked for Death. So what you know?
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, she gets killed. Spoiler alert.
Is it Peter Tosh that's in Marked for Death?
Tosh 1.0?
No. Who's singing the John Hatcher song?
Oh yeah, I can get no justice under this system.
Did they reveal that the reggae singer's lyrics were actually Hatcher was gonna kill Screwface? Did I hear that right, or am I wrong?
Yes, that was maybe okay. Yeah,
That's a big reveal.
There's some plausible deniability in that reveal right there. Yeah. Okay, you got me right there. Yeah,
a big reveal. Like I remember hearing like Hatcher's gonna get you. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, shouldn't I be like compelled to figure this out on my own? And I remember watching it as a kid.
Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2. Freddy's coming for you. I mean, it's
all right. That's all right. You got a point there, Rafe. You got a good point. All right. So sizing up the villains. Okay, tail of the tape. We got Richie versus Screwface. Who's more nasty?
Does Screwface get to have like double reach on this?
This is Larry Holmes against George Clooney. Good God, against Jerry Cooney. Come on, bro.
Okay, yeah, I'm
no
with
competition
you,
in the matchup.
But wait. You got to say, Richie Madonna has all the intangibles in this. I mean, he is crazy. He will do anyone, anywhere, anytime. Shout out to Ring City, USA.
Wait, tune in Thursday night. You'll find out who did Bobby Lupo.
But you will.
But here's the deal, though. In that kitchen climactic murder scene, when Richie finally gets done in, and by the way, he showed. I mean, he had no business getting up from some of those shots. He showed a hell of a I mean, you are like how
up there with dazzling Darren Barker.
I mean, I think that Barker's dead brother kept walking through in spirit mode, and Richie just kept getting up. And so, what I'm really trying to say is, then Gino went to like next level sadistic. He was like playing with his food. He was just like, and then to just like stab him through the eye hole. And you're like, wow, that's as brutal as this one gets. Holy crap. And then steals the other guy's gun and shoots him like 4 more times. And there's like, mic drop. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
It's a mic drop big time. And he takes the corkscrew and he uses, again, accessories, whatever's available, frying pans. And mind you, he infiltrated this whole entire place by himself, blew a guy's leg off, saved the women and children, and goes there and just literally fucks Richie up like nobody's business, like no problem whatsoever. It's unreal. Now, Screwface, I don't know if he's as evil. I think Screwface has a purpose. Like he's a practitioner of what he believes in and trying to like do his drug operation, businessman. Richie's just an asshole. I think we have a difference between the villains here. Like, I'm not saying it's right if you're going to be a murderer and a badass before, to have your business function properly. But Richie was just an asshole. Like, how much money did he really make there? What was the crime? Like, there was no purpose really other than the fact that he was just an asshole.
I mean, he was out for one thing,
on a blow, right?
Yeah.
He was out for the coke.
He was out for justice, bro. Okay, all right. At the end of the day, I mean, let's be honest.
He was out for nose justice. That's what he was trying to roll with. All right, so talking about
wait, postscript here. Do you think like the next morning he takes that same wine cork that he went through through the dude's retina with, and then he shows up at Bobby Lupo's old lady's place, right? And like opens up some wine, but there's still some of Richie's blood on there and it drips in the glass. But what Gino's thinking is that's justice, brother. Drink the blood of the swine I just killed for your late husband. Now let's bang, baby. Right? Like that's plausible next day.
Interesting plot point, because now it confuses the whole character. Like maybe the guy really was bad, like you were suggesting. Like he was murderous. Like Steven Seagal's character was not very nice. So, I mean, he's a nice guy, picks up the dog, which is a great scene, rescues the dog gets to piss on the guy at the end of the film, which is amazing. But we got to look at this, like maybe Seagal deep down inside's got some anger issues. And
just maybe.
He's so passionate about Bobby Lupo's wife.
Well, maybe I thought you were going to, there you go. I thought you were going to plant the seed there that maybe this is Gino thinking, I just want to bang this chick. So if I can get her husband killed, Yeah, if I can get her husband killed, then I'll have reason to go out for justice to kill that fat dude Richie. But that opening scene with the dog pissing on the old guy, that old guy was like a mark. This turned quickly into Floyd against Vincent Ortiz, because like that guy's no match for Seagal's speed on the dock right there, and he still goes out of his way to kick him in the crotch from behind. Judges, let's go over to Harold. What do we got here? I mean, you guys okay with this?
Brian, I got to tell you.
Go for it, Rafe. Take it.
I have no problems with what he did to that man. I mean, that guy deserved everything that was coming to him. Steven Seagal, look, he is judge, jury, and executioner in all of his films. And you have to buy in. You have to buy into the Steven Seagal moral universe. Forget the Marvel universe. This is the moral universe of Seagal.
The guy in the dock is old. He doesn't need to be taking punishment like that anymore. Okay.
Look, yeah. Well, you don't always get a say in that the same way. Look, Tension, our guy Tension, the kickboxer, he bit off a little more than he could chew with Floyd, and that's what happened. Floyd did what he does, and that's what Steven Seagal does to the guys that he meets in his films.
That's why I tell CJ Watson, you gotta press, you gotta get up on them, right? Right.
No. I'm gonna stop, man.
You gotta get inside of them right fucking now.
No,
no Joe Goosing on that shit.
Way to bring the mood down, BC. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you what though. I mean, you got great points, both you guys. Is that Steven Seagal did the right thing morally, and then we have another flip side of the coin. Was the whole movie really about everyone want to fucking smash on Bobby Lupo's wife? Like, I never, BC, I gotta say, I've never saw it from that perspective, but
thank you for bringing that to us, BC.
Yeah, well, and I also want to remind you that he sent the nose of that mafia members into his brain. He just killed a made man, right? I know we learned from Mark for Death that God made men after Jimmy Fingers got thrown through the window. But I have to believe that after he bangs Richie Lupo's widowed wife, then they come looking for him. Then it's North Jersey on line one, right?
You think, okay, but seriously, Gino Felino, who can touch him? You think that I think the entire, you could send Sammy the Bull, you could send Joe Gaspipe, forget his last name. You could send the whole, like the 5 families after Gino Felino. It ain't happening.
Here's what's up. BC, you mentioned a great thing about Mark for Death. When that one guy jumps out of the window, he says, Screwface will give me 1,000 times worse death than what you could give me. So that shows the intimidation of Screwface. Again, I think that you're onto something again with the Out for Justice, is that I think they had a Cobra Kai scenario or a Karate Kid scenario, like the Johnny and Daniel with Ali. Like maybe that's why they had such a significant beef, is that they were all trying to bang this girl. She settled for Bobby Lupo. It ends up with him, and both these guys are like swinging dicks to try to compete to get her. And so then this is the result.
Then does that make Richie basically Jack Ruby in a way?
What do you think, Rafe?
Jack, like from the
JFK assassination. Yes, Jack Ruby. You may remember him from
he goes and shoots Oswald. Jack Ruby.
Yes,
Explain this to me.
So, Richie would have set up the murder of Bobby Lupo so he could get up inside Widow Lupo. So to do that, he needed a patsy. He needed a fall guy. And, you know what? No, it's got to be your bull. So basically, Richie was Oswald, and then Gino became Jack Ruby so that he could get up on that ass.
Brian,
I thought Triple G was getting in that ass.
I'm enjoying this theory, Brian, but like, think about Steven Seagal films. Like, if Seagal, when he has creative control and wants to have a woman fall in love with him, he does not go. He does not do workarounds. he goes straight for the kill, right? He's like your boy Ryan Garcia, right?
He will
goes
accept
straight-
reach arounds though.
Does it
Backstage,
go
there's
down
no
in
question
DMs?
about it. All right.
Does it go down in the DMs though? It's got to go down in DMs first before you step.
No,
out.
it's Seagal's day. You could
he's
sexually
old
harass
school,
people in
man.
their
He's
face.
You don't need
he's
the
the
DMs.
old ways. He just steps right to his prize and says what he's gonna do, and then does it, and it happens.
He'll go 0 to ball bag in less than 6 seconds flat. Okay.
I mean, just ask anybody who's ever auditioned for a Steven Seagal film, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I heard some shit. I heard some things, and yeah, he definitely got it in. And you're right, Rafe. He did not need the DM. So, Rafe, I want to ask you honorable mention Steven Seagal movies outside of these two that we covered crazily, but I think very well. What are your favorite outside of these two films?
The one that I think is most underrated, we mentioned it briefly, Under Siege 2. I mean,
Absolutely.
just a sneaky classic, probably better than the first. You've got, you're on the train. You've got a pre-stardom Katherine Heigl as his niece?
Yeah, I mean, are we allowed to talk about this? What do you think?
Let's do it. Jump in.
No, what was the
Morris Chestnut in there?
What was the age of consent in that state at that time?
Stop this. I'm not talking about that. I am not talking about that.
Stop it. Yeah.
Stop that crap.
Stop that crap. So yes, young Morris Chestnut as sort of the goofy sidekick, but also, guys, it took 3 of them though, but credible villains because each guy had a different personality. It wasn't just nerdy computer guy who, by the way, played a great role in Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems. By the way, you got Johnny Sick. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my whole life. Okay, bro. All right, straight up.
Good one.
It was, and so you got to see that. But also that like general looking military dude. They had some bad guys in there.
The guy with the eye patch, right?
Yes.
You don't have an eye patch? Yeah.
So
you got the gray-haired guy with he's got like
great acting too. Like the guy that played the nerd on the computer was excellent. Under Siege 1 started off really good. You had like 20 minutes where you're like, wow, this is excellent.
You had the cake scene.
Dies. You got Gary Busey, who was also amazing in Lethal Weapon.
Bro, Tommy Lee Jones, they went for it in that movie. Like they went for it.
They swung for the fucking fences with that cast. And then you get Under Siege 2, which is a little bit of a different vibe, but it's got that like runaway train, old school heist thing. And Morris Chestnut was good. And it was simple, but it worked, And I thought that was really good. Another honorable mention for me is Hard to Kill. We mentioned that a little bit before. When Steven Seagal shoots doesn't shoot it, but sticks the shotgun through that guy's mouth and breaks out all his teeth.
Is that the liquor store scene or the end scene?
That's at the end, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At Hard to Kill. He puts that thing in there and bangs out all his teeth. But make no mistake, I'm a big, fan of martial arts films. Honorable mentions outside of Seagal's career is obviously Blood Fist, Don the Dragon Wilson, Best of the Best 2, Eric Roberts and Philip Ree. And
Chris Penn.
Those are my favorites, man. Like
Johnny, as a martial artist, so I'm just gonna imagine that you know more about this than me. How does Steven Seagal's Aikido hold up to the Don the Dragon Wilson, to Billy Blanks is in Blood Fist, to some of the different arts we see represented in these other films, like, because it looks funny, right? I mean, he's just out here catching people's hands and breaking their arms.
Yeah, the thing is, like, styles makes fights like anything in life. Like, if you look at Don the Dragon Wilson, he's more athletic in terms of like Taekwondo, Kung Fu, practitioner of many different disciplines. I'm actually going to train with some people in California next month that I cannot wait to train with. And, they do a variety of things. With Aikido, like, I'm not saying Seagal's limited and not versatile, but it's more grappling, it's more throwing, it's more impactful, just like how to get someone out quick, where other things are a little bit more athletic. Brian, you probably know about, you follow and cover mixed martial arts. By the way, great job. Morning Combat, great show.
Thanks,
you
brother.
Luke kick ass, bro. Like, awesome stuff. And mixed martial arts, and I'm going to say this real quick. the pioneers of getting the sports world back on track. Okay, like they were the guinea pigs. Everyone was waiting to see who's going to get sick, who's not going to get sick. And next thing you know, football comes back, baseball comes back, boxing comes back, and what they're doing is fantastic.
You know, it's funny, Johnny, because like I remember I saw a video that the UFC put out at the end of last year where they were sending people to hell in the media who had said UFC shouldn't be doing this. They said, "Oh, UFC, this is a bad idea. This is reckless." And you know who was front and center in that video?
John McCain. John McCain. Yeah. UFC is a bunch of skinhead white guys. Yeah, I got that. That was unnecessary burial right there. Okay,
I mean that was inappropriate to say the least. That was assault, brother.
Yeah, that.
I'm telling you. Excuse me, but I tell you what, man, the fact that they did that got the ball rolling. And the thing about, you know, guys that are listening to this and girls are listening to this or whoever's listening to this.
There's no girls, bro. Spoiler alert. There's no girls. Okay, at all. At all.
It's
no
a
girls.
hot dog.
I want guys.
It's a hot dog card up in here.
We have beautiful guys. Yes.
You know, but the thing is, it's like, the fact that UFC
Thailand guy watching this show.
The Thailand guy's not watching it.
He is. Many guys.
But many guys will be watching this. I can guarantee you that. But the thing is with the UFC is that they put the best against the best, and in boxing we need that more. So people that are listening, they're probably boxing fans and UFC fans. This is where I'm a boxing guy at heart. But the UFC to me has delivered the better product. I mean, dude, we got fucking Stipe Miocic against Francis Ngannou coming up. Like,
dude, it's a gluttony of riches for big UFC fights. Not just like next Saturday for 259, but like in general, the first 3, 4, 5 months, it's like so ridiculously loaded. Enough, I think, to get somebody like Rafe, who, you know, he doesn't like two grown men rolling around in panties, right? That's just not. I mean, he's from the hood, right? It's not his thing. But he may even have to pay attention a little bit, right? Right?
I mean, perhaps. I guguess like, how does it rank compared to say like a Thomas Cornflake LaManna versus Arislandi Lara fight? Because that's what we got here on Fox on PBC, baby.
This is my point. Like it's. You know, the thing is,
I'm dead ass. That's way better than whatever skinhead fights you guys are watching.
Here's what's up, Rafe. They actually stand up and fight more nowadays with more skill. You don't get many 69s. They call it a more south position in the UFC.
I thought that was like a Kimura or something.
I don't care what anyone tells me.
Just roll up in the bar. Go up to someone. Roll up in the bar. Hey, I'm gonna put you in a Kimura, boo.
With jelly or maple syrup?
Oh my God!
Some people prefer jelly. Some people prefer syrup. I prefer syrup.
Well, the first thing that I do, yes.
The first thing I do is I toss somebody salad.
That's a tough salad guy. Yeah,
speaking of Chris Rock, and fell off the rails. Speaking about Chris Rock, which I knew was going to happen, and I love it, guys. Thank you. I'll let you guys go in a little bit. Lethal Weapon 4 is an underrated martial arts film. People say, you don't see that as an action film? I'm like, yes, it's an action film. But dude, Jet Li, Chris Rock, all those guys, you know, that was a great one.
Chris Rock up there with my favorite martial artists of all time.
Well, he didn't really do shit. I think he shot somebody. But, you know, Mel Gibson certainly did some work. And Jet Li certainly did some work. Even, you know, Danny Glover was surprisingly like, he was like the sleeper. He fucking knocked that guy down a couple times.
Harvey Weinstein too, guys. He was very hands-on. Oh, God. Very hands-on, like Kovalev guy. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
Stop that crap.
I think we accomplished some things today. I'm not really sure what, but it was
ruining all of our reputations further.
Hey, this is what happens when you hang out with Johnny Boy over here.
Well, Johnny, real quick to close this, Rafe's boy JCVD, while he may get a seat at the table in that Rushmore of action stars, although look, I know he's like, you know, more martial arts based than certainly Arnold would ever be. So it's not apples to apples. He's the Ringo Starr of that foursome. We can be honest with ourselves, correct?
This is absolutely
yep.
What? Are you serious? Are you
John
serious?
Claude Van Damme?
Right. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. Okay, all right.
No. Van Damme, no. He's the best of the bunch, man. He's better than all the action
No,
stars.
no,
He's the
no,
best of the
no,
martial arts
no,
guys.
no.
Bloodsport is great. Lionheart is incredible. Sudden Death is
Yes,
Like-
that's pretty damn good. I'll give you that. Yeah.
I don't know,
Double
man.
Impact. Never
Double
in my life would I ever wear a black silk underwear. That's great.
Time Cop. This is nuts, man. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here.
Mr.
All right,
Nuts.
I'm gonna tell you what we're doing is that we mentioned Don the Dragon Wilson before, and we're mentioning John Claude Van Damme, who I'm trying to get on my show. Now, Don the
Wow.
Dragon Wilson called out John Claude Van Damme on my show. Doesn't
What,
like
for like a Triller fight?
they want to have a real. He wants to fight him for real. It's like
Oh,
not
shit.
bullshit. Like he really wants to fight him. He's like, I don't like the guy. I met him. And
All
I'll
right,
put
I
it
got
out
it.
there on record because he did it on my show, so he already said it, so it's no secret.
Well,
So
it's no secret that Fernando Vargas Sr. told us he wants to rematch Oscar in the Triller League as well. So there's a double header for you. Okay.
It's cool, like
I'd pay $50 for that.
Like the news, like Spice Network. Remember Spice back in the day?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm not familiar with that. What are you talking about, guys?
This is like
The
new
what
Spice network? Like the guilty pleasure fucking porno for combat sport.
No. I don't think I may be telling on myself here, but the Spice Network wasn't like a guilty pleasure. This was not like I'm gonna watch Taxi Cab Confessions tonight. It was just straight porn.
Oh, it's
Soft.
hardcore.
Soft.
Maybe
It was
not
very
always,
soft.
not always straight porn, but porn.
The core was soft. Okay, let's be honest here. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Spice, it was like a whole different world. It was like, holy shit. Because, I mean, I'll throw it out there. I don't care. I had that illegal box, and I had the thing. Everyone, of course. And then, originally you had like the Playboy Network, and it's kind of like you get the night calls and you watch things and interviews. And it's kind of interesting, and you see the softcore. You go to Spice Network. That was, guys, if you're like old school, like I'm 42 years old. So you get a situation where there's no internet at this point in time. And you flip the channel to the Spice Network, you're like, holy shit. I don't have to go and fucking buy porno at gas stations anymore. I don't have to go and trade the cipher. Remember the cipher we all had with friends? Like when you're like swapping like porn vids because you're just so over the same one over and over again. All right.
I will not be indicted. I will not be indicted in this conversation. But yes.
Look. When you grew up in New York, you had Channel 35. You had Channel 35. You could watch the Robin Bird show. You could watch the commercials. You didn't need to. You could watch public access, where someone would just go to a strip club and film it for 30 minutes. You didn't need Spice. So I'm a little behind on this, but I understand the world in which you guys are living.
Let me give you one more before we go on a very crazy note. You mentioned strip clubs, gets my brain thinking.
You do live in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I was with one of my buddies, and he was going to give the girl $1, to put in her, underpants or whatever. And he gave her a 20. And he's like, oh, shit.
You tried to get it back?
He tried to get it back. I'm like, it's not an ATM, bro. Like, there's no change. Like, you can't. Like, that's it. You fucked up. You lost your head. Like, you messed up. He went up to her. And he's like, I'm sorry, miss. I'm sorry, ma'am. Like, I meant to give you $1. But instead, I'm going to give you 5. Can I get 15 back? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, dude, I'll just give you the fucking 20. Like, what are we talking? Who does that?
Rafe, who does that?
I don't even know what y'all are talking about right now.
Yo, guys, this was fun. A lot of people, it's a gift to the people. The
Big
Jackers and the Dosters out there are going to love it. To reunite you guys, honestly, I always refer to you guys as the Riggs and Murtaugh, the lethal weapon. So I'll bookend it with that of podcasting.
Tango and Cash would have been a nice compliment as well. Thank you, sir.
I just love it when we're cruising together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And the thing is, to have you guys come back every once in a while on my show or just in general. And, I'm going to personal note is that, you guys got me wanting to do podcasting again after I stopped doing radio for
I
a long
apologize for
time.
that.
And I appreciate that. Your guys' show got me back into wanting to do sharing information. So
And look at him now. Look at him now. All we breed is champions. Look at him now.
that's what's up. Rafe, thank you so much, man. Enjoy your day. BC, have a great performance tomorrow night. You know, have a great broadcast. Be safe. And we'll talk soon, fellas.
One love.
Thank
One
you.
love, absolutely.